Obviously, we thought we were going to trade the pick, but we kept it. Drafting Jared McCain and in the first round, and then the second round going and getting Adem Bona from UCLA. Huge fan of Bona. But what was your guys' overall takes on the draft night, how everything unfolded? No trade and ended up drafting with both our picks. What was your guys' takeaways?
I mean, as far as me, I just took it as you didn't have a trade you liked, or you didn't have anything that was ready to move on. So you had guys that you would take. So I firmly believe that they wanted to trade it first, draft second. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did read something where McCain said that he didn't really talk directly to the Sixers.
No, he didn't. He says his agent did.
And he didn't, huh?
His agent, right? His agent did the talking.
Yeah, so that tells you. I mean, they like from a scouting perspective, but it's interesting. I think it's somebody they liked that they knew they could move forward with if they needed to draft, but their plans were to go in a different direction. That was the initial plans that obviously didn't work out or hasn't worked out yet. I mean, this pick can still be moved, if I believe so, until he signs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was funny when Morey was like, I can't wait for you guys to get to know this kid. I'm like, you didn't even talk to him. You need to get to know this kid. What the hell are you talking about? We have to get to know him. You just hired him. You get to know him.
That's funny.
But yeah, from the sounds of it, I think he wanted to trade back, get a player, and still have a pick. That's what I think he wanted to do. And he said there was an interesting player with a trade back offered, but they decided to stay when it was McCain that was available. Which, I mean, yeah, he was their top 10 ranked player, but like I saw a lot of mock drafts that had McCain going around that period anyway. So it wasn't like it was a huge shock. I mean, I saw a lot of mock drafts. He even said it in the presser. He was like, yeah, I was getting upset because I kept seeing, people mocking him to us. Well, then, like, why was he so, like, I mean, you shouldn't be shocked that he was there then if everybody was mocking him to you in the first place. I get it. I mean, he's a good prospect, and most people love him. Some people don't love the size fit because he is on the shorter side. He doesn't have really long arms. But, he plays bigger. I'll tell you what, in his short shorts dancing, got some good quads, dude. He's got built quads. So, I mean, for a kid who already has built up quads like that, he'll be able to play bigger and not get out muscled when he gets into an NBA weight program eventually. It adds to that, to the point where maybe size won't be a limitation. Maybe Kyle Lowry can maybe teach him how to play bigger, right? Because Kyle was a guy who wasn't the tallest, but I never thought Kyle was a big time, had size limitations. I never thought he was outmatched by guys that were taller than him. He always made up for it because he played strong, right? He was stout. So another guy, McCain said that his trainer told him to watch film on defensively was Van Fleet, which I think is another pretty good comp for him too. Van Fleet's someone who doesn't get just bullied around. He is smaller, but he doesn't just get bullied out there. So that's cool. I liked. He's a tireless worker, and I think he'll get better. And one thing that everyone said about him is he's always ready for the moment, and he's always cool, calm, and collected. So when he does have to get up on there and play, I think he'll take the moment and run with it. I think he'll just get better. So I think his attitude screams that, which is awesome.
So you said someone told him to watch Van Fleet defensively?
Yeah, they said watch. They said his trainer told him to watch film on Van Fleet. I thought it was Van Fleet's defense.
Yes, it was his defense.
Defensively, like that's what he was told.
His trainer told him to. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's a horrible recommendation.
I wouldn't say it. I mean, it's a horrible.
That's a horrible recommendation.
Yeah.
That's a horrible recommendation.
Who would you ask him to watch film on?
That's like telling me to watch me for shooting. In my opinion, that's what that is.
No. I don't want to dog your shooting by any means.
I'm just saying, like, defensively, like, I would never recommend anyone to watch Fred just because he's smaller. I would never recommend a guy that's coming to the league to watch him defensively. Like, to me, if you want to learn how to play, you watch the guys that do defend well and see what they do and how they do it. You don't go and watch a guy that struggles defensively. I don't understand that logic. Just because he fights and like, no, you the guys that do it well fight too.
Who would you tell him to go? What undersized guard would you tell him to watch film on?
First off, what is undersized? Like, how big is he?
I think he's like 6'2".
Really?
6'2.5", maybe. 6'3", maybe. Shoes 6'3".
I think he's like 6'2", 205.
The issue is going to be how he's going to play for the Sixers. Because if he's just guarding point guards, he's not really undersized.
That's probably the assumption that him and Maxey play together at some point, right?
But would Maxey guard the bigger guy? Or would Maxey just guard the least talented per se? You know what I'm saying?
Guy?
No, I'm just saying that, you want to take your best scorer. You don't want to guard the best scorer. Like, we played Minnesota. Which one you going to put on Anthony Edwards? See, we're going to look at Fred's tape to learn how to guard Anthony Edwards. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. We played Denver. We played Jamal Murray. We going to watch Drew Holiday's tape or Fred's tape? We're going to watch Marcus Smart's tape or Trae Young's tape? I'm saying defensively. I'm not talking about as a player. Those guys are Fred, Trae, they ballers. I'm saying, but defensively, I'm going to look at those guys to see what they're doing to have success in the league.
So
just like offensively, I'm saying, just like offensively, I'm going to go look at Fred and Trae and see what they do to be creative at that size.
So in 2022, Fred just missed out on second team all defense. He got first team votes and second team votes.
I told y'all that the voting for all defense is the worst thing ever. I played with Allen Iverson for all those years, and I only had more votes than him one time. And Allen would never come on television and say on anything and say I was better defender. So the voting, that means nothing to me. No, absolutely nothing. I'm saying watch the game. When I was seeing Fred play defensively, when I've watched him play, he became a liability because of his size. Teams were going at him because Toronto wanted to switch and do all that stuff, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's true.
So now, maybe when he was more of a six-man, his defensive presence was different because he was asked to do less offensively. But if you watch him in Houston, like that's not what – when I see him as tough, a gamer, but I don't look at him and say, well, I need to have somebody watch him defensively because he's shorter. I don't see that.
I tell him to watch film on Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's 6 foot.
I'm saying Kyle's tough, and I would say Kyle before I would say
yeah,
but I wouldn't say either. Is what I'm saying, because I don't think that's how he's going to have to defend like those two guys. Like, I don't think he will have to be that type of defender. I mean, he has a better example right there to play with the Sixers in Melton. He's more like that than them.
That's true. Melton does have really long arms though compared to him though. Like really, like a lot longer than him.
Yes, but the presence and the feet and how you move and how you play your body, how you play angles is still more similar to Melton than it is those guys.
Yeah, no, it's true.
He don't have the build to do what Kyle did when he's been playing. They're not built the same. So he don't have the body structure to be able to play behind guys and challenge them and try to hold them up if they back him down. Be a little firmer, lower center of gravity. I'm just saying, having a lower center. I know you can have that, but he won't be the first guy in the NBA with strong legs. Other people have strong legs too. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you have strong legs and you're not strong up top, people they're gonna still back you down.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think it is a good comp. Not necessarily because saying that those guys aren't good defenders. I'm just saying I don't view him as that type of defender.
Yeah, Melton with shorter arms is a good one. That's a good goal to be. It would be hard for him to watch film on Melton though too, because Melton compensates when he gets beat with his long arms being able to catch up. He won't be able to do that, right? So he's going to need to find someone with more of his measurements. It's tough. It's tough. I get what you're saying, but yeah, I mean, I would watch.
But, I mean, my thing is it. I didn't look at the Sixers drafting him as they're drafting him as we figuring out he's going to be our defensive lockdown guy.
Yes,
that's how
I agree.
looked at this.
Yeah, I think this is people worried
that
about
that may be needed for him to consistently get on the court, but that's not how I view this.
Yeah, with Tyrese for sure.
Well, then if that's what we're talking about, then we talking sideways. If we talking about this and then talking about building a team to win the championship, like I don't know how we can talk about both.
Yeah.
But Eric, because it was kind of a mixed bag with some fans love this pick, some fans didn't like this pick. What do you like about this pick, and how good of a fit is he with our team? Obviously, we only have 3 guys on the roster right now, but how good of a fit? You know what he's good at. How good of a fit is that?
I think the thing that he does is, and when I watched him play, he made shots. He made timely shots. Shot the ball well. So if that can transfer for him, that's always I've always said shooting is always a plus. So I've kind of envisioned him being sort of that type of player, that type of role, coming in and maybe scoring and playing some guard or just being sort of a spark off the bench. That's how I viewed him. Because I didn't view him as a guy that played a lot of minutes with Maxey. Maybe play some and maybe play when Maxey's not on the court. So I'm not necessarily against it, but I just think he's a good pick if we're getting our pick and we're keeping them and we're having a guy that we feel like if needed he can contribute.
Like campaigns role.
Yeah, if he's needed, he could contribute.
Yeah.
So I think he's capable of that. Yes, I do think he's capable of that. It's just hard to tell whether it's a great pick because we don't really know how our roster is going to shake out. So if you go and all of a sudden you trade for Donovan Mitchell, then it's really not a great pick, is it? You know what I'm saying? You could have addressed some other things.
Yeah. Yeah, right. As it stands right now, he's replacing Payne's role right now, today. And he makes like double what Payne made. So, he is cost controlled for 4 years, 5 years.
Well, I mean, Melton's a free agent too, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So the other guy that we drafted was Adem Bona from UCLA. Probably one of the most, a lot of these draft experts are saying he's one of the most pro-ready guys as far as of the big man position. So what did you think of the pick, and what does this mean for Paul Reed, Eric, and what does this mean for bringing in a backup 5 like an Andre Drummond type of guy?
I think that they'll take a serious look at him with his athletic ability and his size. If he's able to impact it in some kind of way, then you may not get a veteran, and one of those guys may be gone. I think people are seeing the kind of impact that Lively had with the Mavericks.
Yeah, that's very true.
And you find someone that's like this live, active body, run, rebound, and they don't have to call a play for him, and they can still get a double-double. I think that kind of helped him. I'm surprised that I could have, envisioned him going a little higher than that, but I think he's in a good place if he's coming in and able to allow us to play a different way when Joel's out the game. He's a lob threat. So being a lob threat, they have to defend you. They have to defend you. They have to defend you at the rim. Someone in most cases have to be attached to you. If not, it's 2 points.
Yeah, defensively, he's a problem too. Only 2 years at UCLA, he's 6th overall in blocks in UCLA's record books. I think that's wild to me. I mean, UCLA's got some guys there in the past. So sixth overall in 2 years playing. That's pretty wild.
A 7'4" wingspan. Woo! It's no joke. Yeah.
He said a guy he modeled his game after was Giannis, so potentially we got a little Giannis light.
There you go. That's a little better, right? If you're gonna watch film, you watch the best, right, Eric? You ain't watching Van Fleet.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, don't put that in my mouth. I didn't say don't watch Fred. I said that would be my recommendation to watch. No, I said that wouldn't be my recommendation to watch them defensively. I said you have other guys I would recommend for you to watch defensively. That's what I said. Don't put words in my mouth.
That would be like Bona watching Bobby Portis for defensive tips.
No, I'm just saying in general. So I'm just saying I would recommend him to watch guys that I know that how to get over a pick and roll. They're not a liability if they switch. And all of that.
No, defensively, I think it's a great person for him to watch.
Versatile players, you know what I'm saying? Taller players, shorter player, quicker player. That's what you got to watch. Like, what do they do differently? How do they do it? Where are their feet? How they play the angles? Do they pressure? Do they fake at them? What do they do based on who they're defending? When they have a guy that shoots it from deep, but he can but he can bounce it too. You should watch that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Giannis is a great guy for Bona. I was just joking around, but I think Giannis is a good person defensively for Bona to watch. Actually, I think he's all the things you mentioned.
Yeah, Giannis is good. I mean, it's just the issue is he's not going to have. I know, especially with the Sixers, he's not going to have the ball in his hands that much to be able to kind of impact the way Giannis does.
Oh, I was just talking about defensively.
Yeah.
He's just on defense, like the versatile defending, guarding smaller guys, finding angles, recovery, using his long arms to recover. I saw a couple where he got beat and he just hacked it at the rim, recovering.
Yeah.
So impressive. Is awesome. I think he could definitely grow into that role too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against a Drummond for the right price still, because I don't want to count on him taking that role and running with it. I think if we did that and he didn't live up to expectations, if we're trying to be a championship team, I don't think you can count on that, right? You brought up Lively, which is great. They still traded for Gafford, right? So even they liked what Lively was bringing. They were still like, what?
But the difference is we have Joel. They didn't have Joel.
I know, that's true. Yeah, because they don't have that. They need to find two guys to make into one. That's why I wouldn't want to spend a lot. Gafford makes a good amount. I wouldn't want to spend 12 to 15 on a insurance policy to Joel. But if Drummond comes to the right price, I wouldn't mind it. I definitely think Paul Reed's going to be traded. I think this signals probably the end for Reed if I had to predict that. I know we can trade Reed and bring back more salary. We could bring back up to $15 million for Paul, which I think once we start spending that do-re-mi, we're going to need to find angles to add more salary to our overall cap. But I saw some guys call him the best backup Embiid. Well, already the best backup Embiid's had. I don't know about all that, but a lot to put on him already. But it's definitely looking good. I'd love to see him get those minutes and contribute. They say he can contribute day one. So if he is the backup, he will. Especially if Joel misses that 65 game limit of MVP, he's going to see he's going to be able to contribute day one.
We'll see.
I'm curious, why do you guys think he fell in the draft? Because I like you, Eric, I thought there was no chance we were going to get Bona. I thought he was going to go way further, way higher than he did, and I'm surprised we were able to get him where we did. Why do you think he fell in the draft?
Guys, I'm I don't spend any time trying to predict or think about why guys drop in the draft. We just watch guys get drafted because of their relationship with someone. Like I don't think it. Trying to bring logic to the draft and why and how they pick people. I am beyond knowing what it is that they're thinking about.
Yeah. It's so hard to pick. Well, at this point, it worked out in our favor. We got a guy that we love at that pick. So
beneficiaries for sure.
Yeah.
Love it.